Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Kamu and welcome to my Monsters Guide. And I'm doing this because I was asked to, so for a note, if you have a question, if you want to see something else or want to see a specific video, then type it in the comments, I read them all and the chances are high that you will get it. So for now, this is the Monsters Guide and we just built a deck and then I will show you some gameplay. So this deck is actually one that I made myself, and I think it's really good. I ran really well with it, and it's definitely competitive even at the highest ranks. So let's start with the golden cards first. The golden slot, I have to say, is really stacked. There are a really lot of and many good cards that are golden, that are extremely strong, and that you can build into this deck. But the ones that I chose to use is what I think is the best golden card of monsters. It's 5 plus 3 plus the fog, is 14 plus a fog on the opponent's row. So 14 stats plus a fog, and that's really insane. I think this is the best golden card and I would pick it every day. Another thing is I want to play the Karantia. I think this Karantia is really good. What he does is he moves essentially all the minions of your opponent up to 5, but usually all the minions of your opponent to one single row, and then together with the water hack you can lacerate it, and that's really insane. I think this card is really good if you want to force to win a round. And currently I think Succubus is the choice to go, because if you play against a lot of Skellige, and that is what we do, then we can steal an X-Men or we can Morkbak. If we steal an X-Men, we get like 80 stats maybe, and if we steal a Morkbak, then we get 40 stats. So this is really good. We really want the Succubus. The problem with Succubus though is that it's situational, and situational cards are really not so good very often, but in this meta it's really good right now. And of course if the meta changes, then we have to adapt it, then we have to remove it, replace it with something else, maybe Imlarit, maybe Guilds, because actually I don't play Guilds. I think this card is really good, but I think I want to play Renew, and the reason why I want to play Renew is because I have a golden card in Woodland Spirit that is extremely strong and that is always worth to resurrect. But I have always also a situational card. And with situational cards it's like this. It's either really good or really bad. And with Renew you can decide whether you want just to resurrect the Woodland Spirit, or in case you have a situation where Succubus is really good, then you resurrect the Succubus. So I think this is actually really good, but of course you can also play the Guilds or Imlarit or Draug or maybe Caretaker if you have them, but they're all really good. The same applies to silver slots. The silver cards of monsters are extremely stacked, but as I said, I really want to play the water hack because it synergizes with Karantia very well. And what I also think I want to play is the Frightener, because, well, it's a weather deck, or it will be a weather deck because we play the Woodland Spirit, and in these cases buys are better than usual because we have targets to damage. So they don't have the power that is written on them, but less. And the Frightener is 10 power, and that's actually really good. I think usually they have around 12. For 12 power, usually a spy is not so good, but for 10 it's actually decent. And in the weather deck it's better. And he has even an ability which makes this card even more better. Another card that, or another trio of cards that I would definitely play in this deck is Crones. I have seen monster decks without playing Crones, but I always feel like that they regret it at the end, because weather decks are usually very slow. And when you play a very slow deck, you really have to use tempo plays just to compensate for that. The same thing applies to the X-Men decks, or actually in this deck. So I think we really want to play the Crones, even though I know the silver slots are stacked, and so we cannot play other very good cards, but we really need the tempo. Katakan is one of those cards that can create a lot of tempo because, for example, if we play a Frighten and then we can eat it, then it's 15 power. And that's really good. So that's another card that gives us tempo. Another card that I would love to play, but there's no space in it, is the Fiend. Because I think this is the best luck unit in this game. But we don't have any target, we don't have any place for it, so we don't play it. Okay, so when it comes to the bronzer cards, if we play Woodland Spirit, it's pretty clear that we need to play the Foglets because we resurrect them when we play Fox. And if we play Foglets, of course we need to play Fog. And I will play 2 of those. And the real reason why I played 2 of those is because if we play 2 Fogs together with the Woodland Spirit, then we have a chance of 80% that we get the Fog. And if we play 3, it's more like 95%. And I think it's really necessary because we really don't want to draw the Foglets. And so the costs are not so high, and I think I would add the Fog. And it's really good with Foglets anyways. So let's just put 2 of those in the deck. Of course, when it comes to the staples, the Harpy are staples because the Harpies they were good before the patch. They are still good now. They weren't as good as before after the patch, after everybody played the Savage Bear, but we see a decline in playing the Savage Bears. So we see less Savage Bears, therefore Harpies get even better, and therefore we want to play 3. When it comes to the rest of the bronzer cards, I would definitely play 2 Archgriffins. I think in a meta where everybody's playing the Weather, or where really many players play Weather, I think we need 3 Weather Clears, unless we play, for example, X-Men, and where we have armor our units or not many units on board, and we only need 1 or 2. But in this deck, we have a lot of minions on board, and so I think, actually, that's what I prefer is 3 Weather Clears. And 2 Archgriffins, what the heck, I think it's really fun. I love the Drowners. I think they are not 7 stats, but I think they are more, because you can either get minions into Fog, for example, or into Biting Frost, and we can also use it in combination with the Succubus, because if they somehow manage to get rid of, for example, the X-Men and place it by playing Bloodcurdling Roar, placing it in another row, then we can play the Drowner and have a good target for Succubus. So I think these 2, they are synergizing very well. And so I would play 2 Drowners. And when it comes to the last of the 3 bronzer slots, I think I want to play a Bloodcurdling Roar because this card, we want to play it usually on an egg. You can play it on a Foglet too, but we usually want to play it on an egg because then it's 14 power. And 14 power means it's more like a tempo play. It's situational, but therefore I only want 1. But I think it's really good. I think it's tempo, that's what we lack usually in weather decks, so that complements it really well. And since it's situational, only 1. So we have 2 left, and one of my favorite combos is a very strong combo. It's the Wild Hunt Biting Frost combo. Usually Biting Frost is good by itself, but in this synergy we play it through the Wild Hunt Hound, because we play the Wild Hunt Hound and he deploys the Biting Frost from your deck, which means we get the Biting Frost plus 5 power, and that's really good. And so that is the deck that I made for myself. As I said, I ran really good, really well, I mean, and yeah, I will show you some gameplay now, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay guys, so we're in the game, and we play against some monster in the monster mirror, and what we want is we want to get rid of the Foglets. That's the first thing that we want. And we want to get rid of the Biting Frost, and of course we only want 1 crow. And since we don't have a Biting Frost, we get rid of the... What was that? That was... Hashtag, what? I'm pretty sure he had the hashtag name. Like hashtag, whatever. Awesome. I would like my son to name and just hashtag. Like that would be pretty cool, right? Like, how is your name? I'm Frank. And you're? I'm hashtag. Boom, yeah. Hey, probably not. Okay, and what you usually want is you want to get the foglets out of your deck. Because you don't want to draw them, and therefore we need to play the fog at some point. Or obviously the Woodland Spirit or the Hero Power into fog. So he thinks we have the Crones, and actually we do, but we don't really care that much. I think we should play the Harpy. If he passes, we can just play whatever. Rana, for example. But usually you shouldn't pass. We also have the Eber combo, which is Karantia into Wathag, which means that we actually should always win this round. Let's see. Maybe he fucks everything and then... okay. He plays the Spy, which means that we have room for our fog. I think that's a good fog. I could have thought of playing Drowner into Frightener. That would be very good as well. But then we couldn't have played Fog anywhere near, anywhere soon, and I really want to get rid of it. See what it does. Okay. We can play the Frightener ourselves. With the Harpy. That's a good draw, actually. It's a very good draw. Okay, this is the, I believe this is the Akimara deck. It's so cheesy. So cheesy. But it's actually it's very many people there are very successful with it, so definitely this is viable too. Okay. So we could play Karantia now, but here's something in the graveyard. Nope. Usually I want to eat a Frightener later, or a bear. So we are so many stats ahead, behind now. I think we should play the Karantia. I should play it in the front row. No, mid row. Mid row is good. Obviously I misclicked this. God damn it! Of course, we need to click in on the Ranbor, yeah. Oh man, I can't count at 5. It's fine. I'm still learning. Still learning counting. I'm not sure we can play the Wathag now. Probably not. Probably not. We can place the Ranbor with the Drown. Okay, so he clears it. We're 20 stats, 19 points ahead, behind. So I usually think in these cases we should just pass. Especially as I think that he plays something like Ikimaras, and if he plays something like Ikimaras, I don't want to give him a free Ikimara. Therefore I just passed. We lose the round, but may you win the war. Get an open pass because we have some stats on board. Of course we want to get rid of the crowns. Even though it looks so beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so wondering what he's doing. Yeah. If he plays the RP, we can play the RP too. Usually in round 2 you always should play the Harpy, because then you can trigger the Harpy X. You don't really want it to play them in round 3, because you don't have anything to consume. So play them in round 1, play them in round 2. And usually you want more X in round 1 than your opponent, because then your opponent cannot open pass. Or you can open pass, so... Always keep that in mind. So what did he eat? Manticore. Manticore is 13. It's 13. Man, this card is sick. Some of the time. So this is 14. What about the Katakan? Katakan is 14 too, right? I really don't... Frighteners are doomed. Of course we cannot eat them. But... we definitely want to eat the Manticore, I feel like. Because then he doesn't have a target. But I don't want to eat him. I don't want to eat him. I don't want to let him to eat... Well, English is so tough, guys. English is so tough. I don't want him to eat my bear, of course. So therefore I... either can't play him in round 2, or I will eat it myself. And I decide to eat it myself. Because we will obviously win the round. And then we will start ourselves. Yeah, actually we will start the next round. That's what I mean.
I shall savor your death.
So the best thing is probably to give him the bear. To give him the griffin. Sure. Sure. Looks really scary. This is premium, right? So we have to include it in our deck, so... Sure. By the way, premiums are so good. They are... this is the one I mentioned in the last video. Anna Podevorna, she drew like all the amazing cards. She's just insane. If I had a company and I could hire her, I would do it. So 11 power. We can play Fog. We can't play Fog. Now the question is if how good is Water Hag? How good is Water Hag? Not sure if he's really good anymore. But I have 2 Fogs, right? So 2 Fogs in 1 round is not good. So I want to play 1 in this round. Fog's pissed. By the way, many comments they asked me what is this deck thing, and it's a Gwent tracker. You only have to go to Google and then you can type in Gwent tracker, and then the first hit. There you can download it. So the Kimura is really strong now. We're thinking whether I should rain it. It has so much carryover. That's really bad for us. I think we should rain it. I could also consider Lacerate, but I mean that would be really ballsy. Gotta groom myself some balls. Okay, this is bad, right? This is bad. 19 to 0. But we are 1 card ahead. And we have the Wild Hound, we have Katakan, Brewers. We cannot get rid of anything because we cannot draw the Brewers. Or, I mean, another crown. As I said, we want to get the bear in our mouth. And that's what we do. That was the reason why we didn't play it, right? So now it's 3 to 3 cards, and we are only 2 power behind. And he played all his golden cards. And we have 1 ourselves, which means that we're in a good position. And we have the crowns. So I really don't want them all. I don't think I fuck the mid row, the front row. Really don't want his water hag to use less rate on the front row when everything is in the front row because I played the woodland spirit there. That would be not good. But this is fine. This is good. And he played Katagan himself. And it's 3 less power than ours. Because he ate the Manticore. And gladly it's enough. So, as you saw, the games with this deck are closer because this deck is not exponential. This deck is linear, which means that usually you only win by 1 card. And not by, like, with the X-Men deck, like with 100 power, something like this. But I think it's a good and competitive deck. There are also some other versions of it. Maybe I will show them to you. But if you want to see them, please tell me in the comments. But what's left to say is have a great day and bye.